You were not given a clearance through the Bravo. 1 November Romeo, exit the Bravo immediately.
I've been talking to you the whole time. That's the whole point of talking to you. You're an asshole.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to MojoGrip. Mike here. Today we're going to talk about 5 hazardous attitudes that plagues a lot of pilot. These are generally things that you will learn whenever you're learning how to fly, and it might seem like it's not going to come of value when you start flying, but you may notice some of these characteristics within your own self. So we're going to talk about it today. All right, just to list all of them out of the bat, you've got impulsivity, resignation, macho, invulnerability, and anti-authority. Now, all of those 5 things are pretty much self-explanatory. Impulsivity, you've got the impulse. Invulnerability is basically feeling like it can't happen to me. Macho is self-explanatory. You're the man, you're the boss, you're the woman, you know it all. That's macho. Resignation comes in the case, say for an emergency, you give up. You should never give up. Your instructor will always tell you, fly the plane till the end. Fly the plane, even if you're crash landing it, keep flying the plane. Okay? And then anti-authority, self-explanatory. You are not a rule follower. You don't obey the rules, or you think the rules don't apply to you. So that's all of it in a nutshell. And to prove my point, I've got an audio here that shows a real life situation of a pilot who is completely, just blatantly breaking the rules. Listen.
Southwest Strip 3, contact LA Center 124.2. Have a great day.
24.2, Southwest 333, good day.
Southwest 285, McCarran Airport is 11 o'clock and 21 miles.
Inside Southwest 285.
Southwest 285 cleared for the visual approach, runway 26 left.
Clear to visual, 26 left, Southwest 285.
And 1 November Romeo, I need you outside of the Bravo.
Negative.
Negative what?
I'm inside.
You were not given a clearance through the Bravo. 1 November Romeo, exit the Bravo immediately.
I've been talking to you the whole time. That's the whole point of talking to you.
You have to have a Bravo clearance. You have to request a Bravo clearance.
The Bravo clearance about 50 miles ago.
Nobody clears you through the Bravo but me.
Then clear me through.
No.
Yes.
Okay, this is a great segment. This is just funny. It's funny, and I'm glad this guy got down safe, but it could have turned into something else. So let's pick apart what's happening here. You hear a pilot. First of all, we need to give a shout out to ATC, air traffic controllers. They do a great job, okay? And their job is to keep the sky safe. They're helping you to get you from A to B. And here you have this pilot who clearly did not get clearance to get into a Bravo airspace, and then argues with the air traffic controller. Now, for my non-pilot viewers, when you're flying, there are several airspace. You've got Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and so on and so forth. For Bravo, you will need a clearance. And by clearance, you mean you ask for permission and you wait till you get permission to get into that airspace. Okay, for other airspace, maybe a Delta, a lower airspace, it may permission can only be one way. But when you're speaking of Bravo, you need two-way communication. All right, and the ATC or whoever's controlling that airspace needs to confirm you to come into that airspace. And the reason being, Bravo is a bit more complex. There's a lot of commercial activity. This is the airspace that generally commercial jumbo jets and private jets, Part 135 airplanes fly through. This is why it is highly, highly regulated. And so you have this guy who clearly did not get permission, as the ATC is stating, hey, I did not give you permission to get into my airspace, and he says negative. And this is just funny, but this is a perfect example of a pilot who just completely ignores the rules. And then he's going back and forth with the air traffic controller saying, hey, I asked for permission 15 miles ago, but he clearly did not get the go-ahead to enter that airspace, but he did anyway. Now, In a real life situation like that, generally speaking, if you're flying more particularly in a busy airspace, you may need to hold on. And I've experienced this. I almost never fly in Bravo, just to be clear. But even in a class Delta or Charlie, sometimes it's super busy. And when you initiate a communication with air traffic control, sometimes they're talking to like 5-10 different people. So you just wait. You wait until they acknowledge you, and then they can give you permission to go ahead and, with your request or whatever it is that you're asking for. And I'm just assuming maybe this may have been the situation here. But again, this guy did not get clearance, but yet he's arguing with the air traffic control. Let's listen to some more.
You're an asshole. He's being an ass. That is not appropriate language. Vegas approach concerning 731 November Romeo. Switching to second cruise 9000 east.
1 November Romeo, Las Vegas approach, Las Vegas altimeter 2988. Information Mike Trent and Henderson, the landing 35.
I have Mike.
Southwest 779 McCarran Airport is 11 o'clock and 23 miles.
Yes, right, Southwest 779.
Southwest 779 cleared for the visual approach, runway 26 left.
Clear visual 26 left, Southwest 779.
So here's another good spot to stop and explain. As I mentioned earlier, whenever you're calling into, maybe you're going into a new airspace, you initiate communication and you let the air traffic controller know who you are, where you are, whatever you need.
Southwest 285, 170 or greater till 5 mile final.
170 or greater to 5 out, Southwest 285.
And 1 Delta Alpha, contact LA Center on 134.65. Have a good day.
134.65, thanks for everything. 1 Delta Alpha. Las Vegas, Gold Strike 5513, 3000, information pop up for northbound inside.
Go check 55, Las Vegas approach, expect a visual approach, runway 12 right, Las Vegas altimeter is 2987.
987 will expect a Gold Strike 55.
Southwest 285, contact tower 1990. Have a great day.
Over to tower, good luck, Southwest 285. Good day.
And you can see that earlier in the flight, this pilot did call in and he was acknowledged by the air traffic controller. And normally when they acknowledge you, they give you the altimeter for whatever closest airspace or airport that's close by. But acknowledgement does not mean permission. In some airspaces, you can get acknowledgement can mean, okay, you're good to go, right? But in a Bravo airspace, to be more particular, you need clearance. You need clearance to get in. And so we can confirm that this pilot was never given the clearance to enter into the Bravo airspace. Take more listen.
Southwest 779, traffic 12 o'clock, 4 miles. Is a Cessna Centurion. You're standing out of 4,700 inside the Bravo without a clearance.
Okay, we're looking Southwest 779.
I've asked for a clearance multiple times.
And 1 November Romeo, I told you to remain outside the Bravo. And 1 November Romeo, possible pilot deviation, advise you contact Las Vegas approach at, I'll give you the number when you're ready to copy.
Not ready to copy, I'm flying.
So here we have the pilot again. You have air traffic controller telling them, hey, I've asked you to stay outside of the Bravo airspace. And she tries to, in a way, just resolve the situation, and kudos to her. And she was going to give him some data or information, and you can hear the pilot respond, I'm not ready to copy. I'm flying. Now, obviously, this guy is just being an a-hole. It's just being a tool. And I say this, I'm trying to make light of this, but this is not funny. In a real life situation, this could have also ended badly. When you're given, we all have set rules, right? And when you decide not to comply with those rules, you're not only putting yourself at risk, but you're also putting other pilots and aircraft in the air at risk. But also, you're making the job of the air traffic controller a lot more complicated. As you can listen in on the audio, you can hear that she is talking to multiple people at a time. All right, just understand that for you as a pilot, you've got your hands full. Generally speaking, you know, you doing a million things, especially when you're coming into land. You know, you're looking out for traffic. If you're on an IFR or some ILS, whatever the case may be, you're touching buttons, just making sure you're flying safe. But also understand that it's similar. The ATC also has similar responsibility because they're looking at their screen, they're looking at the radar, they're making sure that all the aircraft are separate enough, that nobody's close enough, and everyone is following what they're supposed to do. So when ATC gives an instruction to a pilot, they generally expect that pilot to follow the rules. It's just unspoken, right? And then they can move on to the next person, but also understand that part of their responsibility is making sure that whatever instruction or direction they give you, they need to confirm that you're following that instruction. If you deviate, now you are allowed to deviate in the case of an emergency, or if it puts your life at risk, you can tell the ATC, just like the pilot did early on, like negative. If they say, okay, November or 1 November Romeo, make a right downwind turn or left base, and say you spot traffic on that in that same direction, you can say negative, or something is wrong with your airplane. So you can break the rules. The only exception is if there was an emergency, and that was not the case here. So to close it all out, I just want to put it out there, more particularly in the pilot community, that we have this personality more often than we care to admit. You know, a lot of us are not necessarily rule followers, and that's not a bad thing. But in situations like this, it is a bad thing, and we need to recognize that if that's you, and if that's me, I'm also doing some self-reflection. If I have this characteristic, I want to check it whenever I'm flying, and understanding that as pilots, we are all responsible for each other. Whenever you're flying, any day you get in the air, you're also responsible for the next pilot and the next pilot and the next pilot. So guys, please practice some safety habits. Don't be like this guy. Just don't be like this guy. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources, and you don't want to put other people's lives in jeopardy. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something from this today. I really thought about doing this segment when I listened to this audio. It was so comical and it was so funny, but in retrospect, it's actually a very serious situation. But I wanted to explain it to y'all, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to MojoGrip if this is your first time. Great way to support the channel is to become a paid member. You can go onto mojogrip.net/MVP and become a paid member there, or hit the join button, and I'm gonna answer my phone in a minute. Guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.